Well, yet another blockbuster number from Tata Steel is what the street is expecting, as its EBITDA, its bottom line, will continue to be at those record high quarterly levels. We are expecting the revenues to come in at 52,785 crores, more than doubling compared to the corresponding quarter. The EBITDA is seen at 16,370 crores, and that's going to lead to a massive surge in the margins as well at 31%. Like I said, highest ever, and the profit after tax, the portion attributable to the shareholders of the company, is seen at 9,450 crores. Remember, in the corresponding quarter, the company did post a loss. But at this juncture, of course, Q1 FY21 was marred with a lot of exceptional items, the whole Black Swan event due to the very stringent lockdowns that were put in place due to COVID-19. So I think comparing it to the corresponding quarter won't make sense. But guess what? Even compared to the previous quarter, Tata Steel has done exceptionally well. Yes, volumes may have been a tad bit low because in Q1 FY22, we did have the second wave. We did have Tata Steel and other steel companies diverting a little bit of their oxygen, industrial oxygen to medical facilities, but a very minor impact of the volumes. I think the surge in steel realizations is more than going to compensate for that, and that's the reason why you're seeing better than previous quarter revenues, better than previous quarter EBITDA and margins and profitability as well. India business, of course, has been at the forefront in leading this, as we have seen for the last couple of quarters. Even prior to the steel pricing boom, it's always been the India business that has led from the front. So the sales volumes are seen at 2.9 million tons. Like I said, a little lower compared to the previous quarter's 3.3 million tons. But the EBITDA per ton is seen at a record of 33,000 per ton. In the previous quarter, the EBITDA per ton was roughly about 27 to 28,000 rupees per ton. The European business as well is going to see a substantial improvement. Volumes just a little under 2.5 million tons, and the EBITDA per ton is seen at $160 per ton. I think this is the highest that we have seen the European EBITDA, in a very long time. The European business has always had the shorter end of the stick, if you could call it that. They've had problems with respect to demand, they've had problems with respect to spreads, but as we see this united boom in steel prices all around the world, that seems to be improving. What I would like to hear from the management is whether in these last 2 months they have seen skittishness in India demand, particularly whether they've resorted more to exports, as we've heard from JSW Steel as well. And secondly, because of the skittishness in demand, has pricing as well come down a little bit? We haven't heard of companies taking price hikes as such. So what has been their pricing trajectory in June, in July, in August as well? That's something we'd like to hear. And along with that, of course, implementation of that CapEx plan that they had announced, shifting their focus back to growth CapEx, maintaining, of course, one eye on deleveraging, but now CapEx comes right on top of their priority list along with deleveraging. So implementation of that as well will be watched out for.